Glenn, we were just talking about it there. Fantastic game for the neutral. As you mentioned, probably a bit of a stressful one for you on the sideline. What was your overall impression?
I wouldn't say it was stressful, but I would say it was a really emotional game. I think it was full of emotion from both sets of teams, even the officials. I thought they were embroiled into the game a bit too much, but I'll be cautious in where I go with that. But I felt it was a really emotionally charged game, and I think you commented before about potentially being a bogey side. So we were full of determination, desire to win the game today, and not Swindon do the treble on us, which is really upsetting and unfortunate. And in all three games, I think they would be the first to recognise that perhaps we should have deserved something out of them games, and I think that's the hurtful thing about football sometimes.
Yeah, perhaps we should start with the main talking point of the game, which just seemed to have swung the whole sort of tide of the game. Harvey Bradbury's red card in the 16th minute, so he played 74 minutes with 10 men, and still come so close to victory. Just wanted to get your take on that challenge.
Yeah, I mean, Brad has backed into the lad. I do feel he's gone down far too easy, and I think we see that day in, day out. Football's a contact sport, and again, it does spoil the game to a certain degree. Brad his heart is on his sleeve. He's an aggressive player. There's no way I want to take that aggression out of him. And early on, he's pinned him, and I think they've gone at each other, and then the lad's just dropped down, which he's felt contact. But did it deserve a red card? I don't think so, personally, if that's what you're asking me. So I think he was really unfortunate, the lad.
Do you feel it was a smart bit of play from the Swindon right back? Did he make a bit too much of it, do you feel?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, he's tapped him, hasn't he? Let's face it. And he's rolling around on the ground. He's asking for treatment, and he's not getting up. I mean, that doesn't require that sort of drama, if you like. But the lad's chosen to do it. He's got to live with it, and he's probably pleased he'd done it. So we just have to live with it and move on.
It looked like justice was done a few minutes later when you took the lead.
Yeah, deservedly so. I felt that the boys didn't feel sorry for themselves. We were really, really structured in our approach, really organised out of possession, and looked to threat on the counter. And then even when the ball on transition, when we were connecting with each other, and deservedly took that goal from Emma, and it was well taken.
Yeah, obviously you kept the lead into the break. Slightly disappointed to concede twice in 2 minutes though.
Yeah, I think when you go onto the back foot and they're making their numerical advantage count further up the pitch, we struggle to get out, and inevitably sometimes you can only weather that for so long. And you could argue, they started the second half the better of the two teams, but you'd expect it. And they've taken their chances, and credit to them in taking the lead, and then they got their tails up a little bit, and we sort of struggled to get back into the game. And then again we dusted ourselves down, and Shaq has got us back in the goal with a beautiful pass from Jordan. And a great finish, and deservedly made the game 2-2.
Yeah, when you go down to 10 men and a side comes onto you, it kind of plays into your hands, doesn't it, with the counter-attack, and obviously Shaq's pace has got the reward for you, because the keeper was in two minds as to whether to come. Yeah,
there's spaces. I mean, they're pushing their full-backs on, and they're still in a 2v1 situation. The centre-halves with Shaq, so he's got no right to win in them battles. But the kid is, you've seen it, he's desperate to play down the middle. In my opinion, he's just as effective in the 7-11 position, but he was fantastic out there today. He showed his physical condition, his back where it should be, and that's been a long time coming, because he's had a few knocks, few niggles this season, but you can be very pleased with his performance.
Yeah, obviously, I think you scored, and it was 4 minutes later that Swindon again took the lead. What was your take on their third?
Yeah, again, we've almost sort of got ourselves back in the game, gone on the back foot again, and we've invited a little bit of pressure. But as I said, it's difficult when they've got an extra man, and the firepower they have, we spoke about before the game. I mean, Williams, McDonough, and they've even got Campbell and Zach, you can go on, and then to have a player like Harden on the bench who's a sub not used, it's incredible to have that decisions amongst your team. So credit to Swindon. They made good changes, good moments, and really went after us. And I felt we dealt with it well as a whole.
Obviously, they went and got their fourth, but how pleased were you with the spirit that you showed in the final 10 minutes, including stoppage time? Because it looked like you were bound to score at almost any stage, really.
Yeah, I didn't think it was just that moment in the game. I felt our spirit and our character and personality was in abundance from the moment that whistle was kicked off, that even before the sending off. There's no way this group will lie down and accept anything, and we have discussed that. They're full of desire and determination, and I guarantee many teams out there would be in that position 4-2 on the back foot against 10 men would have capitulated, but there's no way them boys were willing to accept that. And we've pushed bodies forwards to try and ask more questions, and they've done that themselves, and the substitutions have gone after the ball, and we made it really difficult for Swindon, and I don't think anybody can argue towards the end. Bless Thiago, I think if it had fallen to someone else, that ball hits the back of the net, and then Shaquille's unfortunately missed a penalty. So you can see significant good chances created by us. And that comes from not just being good footballers and a good team. It comes from the determination, the character, personality. I said, you can sit and feel sorry for yourself and just almost give up a little bit, and then it becomes a cricket score. But there's no way this group are going to do that.
No, you touched on it earlier. I think most people here could probably say that you deserved a point today.
I don't know if we deserved a point. We were on the back foot for large parts of the game because of, as I said, the 10 men situation. But I felt we were dangerous. I felt we really did create some chances, and I think it could have flipped either way. So I'll leave it to the neutrals to decide who were probably really pleased with the game if you were a neutral watching it and paid your money to watch that. And that's all we ask. We ask. To put a real shift in and to really sort of to try and make it value for money here at the Avenue.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Harvey's red card is one to appeal?
It's too early to suggest that. I think we'll have a look at it at the footage, and so we're not afraid of doing that. We won the success appeal with Kieran early in the season against Paul Town. So I think we'll review it and have a look at it and then make that decision.
Okay. I know you don't really like to pick out individuals for their performances, but could you pick out a star player from today, given the performance and the spirit that the lads have shown?
It's really difficult, Neil, to do that today. I think if you have a match winner out there, arguably sometimes they receive all the glory, but to a man, they were incredible out there today, all of them, and I'm full of gratitude for their efforts, because it's so easy to do well and put everything in when your tails are up and you're dominating the game and having the ball, but when things are going against you, it really tested the team and the players' character, and they were full of that in abundance, that's for sure.
Yeah, and a final question on what this sort of performance means for the rest of the season, because you must take a great deal of heart and courage from the way the boys have played.
Yeah, 100%. As said, that's fundamentally that's where our foundations are built from. First of all, you've got to have the attitude and the application and the character to be able to do well for Dorchester Town Football Club. And as long as that is there for the season, we'll be a happy bunch, and what will be will be.